Okay, all right. So let's just get started. So we are all, I'll just put Aurelie, sorry, I'll just put Aurelie back on mute. And what we'll do now is I'm going to just introduce today's panel. So for those of you who have come join us, welcome. Today is the second online, second Thursday of Primetime. And as you can all guess, we are all at home. We are all nice and obedient people being locked up in this CV. And but nonetheless, we want to reach out to you guys. So we talk about social distancing, but really what we want to do is to be physically distanced, but to be socially close. So we want to be near to you and we want to speak to you. And this is the reason why we are organizing this Primetime Second Thursday online, hoping to reach out to members as well as guests. And for today, we're going to introduce a new president. So we have finally got a new president, and she's Kathia. So Kathia is the newly appointed president of Primetime. She's an executive coach and a passionate advocate for women's rights. In fact, she's the president of two other charitable organizations, Tabitha Organization and Kanotep. So if you could just join me to welcome this Kathia to say a few words before we start. Kathia, please.
Thank you so much, and I'm starting to share my screen as well. We're all learning on this new experience, yes. So, good evening everyone, and welcome to this second Thursday, a special second Thursday, because as I said by Serene a while ago, is our second Thursday online. And I hope we will be back soon to in-person meetings, but I'm also so glad that we can share that experience online for the time being. Thank you, Serene, for the introduction, and most importantly, for being again our MC tonight and for hosting us in your platform. As said before, I'm Katia. I'm the new president of Primetime, even though I'm not new to Primetime. I'm also a bit of a serial volunteer for Primetime. This is my fourth term on the board. And as Selena was mentioning before, I'm also putting a lot of time and effort in a couple of other organizations. The topic of tonight is a quite relevant topic for women, and especially today in these uncertain times. Personally, I have a special hate, can I say in this way, for the concept of work-life balance. And this is something I was already discussing with Ruchi when we had our chat on the phone. Indeed, I don't like the idea of seeing work and life as a strict trade-off. And the fact that you must choose either if you want work or if you want life. And at the end of the day, the reality is that, and especially in the last couple of weeks and months, we have been forced to learn and to realize that we can work, we can supervise our homeschool children at home, especially if they are in primary school, as is the case with me, and we can take care of our family and ourselves, hopefully, all of that from the same place, from home. And then I'm also a strong believer of the fact that people can thrive personally if they thrive professionally. If you are happy at work, you will be a better mother, a better mom. And if you're happy at home, you go back to the office when you can go back to the office much more energized, and you will be a better colleague and a better employee as well for your company. So this is the reason why when I started talking with Ruchi about this topic, I was very glad of sharing a same and common vision on that, because I've always been looking for a way to combine work and life together and to see more of an integration, of an harmony between the two of them. But before handing over to Ruchi, I would just would like, if I can, move on to the next slide. Yes, about Primetime a bit. Our vision. We believe that at Primetime one day, all women will reach their highest potential. And we are convinced that we at Primetime, we can contribute our little bit to this meaningful journey. Indeed, we inspire our members to reach their highest potential, providing them growth opportunity, both from a personal and professional perspective, but also opportunity to connect and socialize, and opportunity to give back to the society. What is Primetime? Primetime is a respected community within the business environment in Singapore because of the quality and quantity of our events. And today we have about 300 members from 30 different nationalities. But our diversity is not just in terms of nationalities. Indeed, our members are very diverse in terms of life experience, industry, and professional backgrounds. And since the very beginning in 1997, when Primetime was created as an evolution from the American Women Association, Primetime has been focusing on delivering those three values: connect, collaborate, and contribute. And the foundation of Primetime are three key pillars: professional development, social networking, and community outreach. The event of tonight, the second Thursday, is part of this first pillar. Every second Thursday in each month, except December, when we have our holiday party, we invite expert speakers and thought leaders to share topics compelling to our members and to deliver inspiration to you. When the event is in person, the evening is also a great opportunity to network. And it's also quite often the very first entry to Primetime. Besides the second Thursday event, which is our flagship event, we have, as you can see from these slides, many different special interest groups and some programs. Some of them are quite new. Some have been relaunched. The very new program are the coaching, the mentoring, and the new group is the sustainability, environmental sustainability, very up-to-date topic. What about our next events? Unfortunately, we will be delivering online event for a while. As I was saying the night of the AGM, my dream and the dream of our board is to have in the long term a more balanced mix of online and offline events. But for the time being, we are going on with online webinars, which are free for our members. What we have in program over the next couple of weeks. We have next Tuesday, this event on develop your physical resilience. Then we have on Friday, the 22nd, putting your best face forward, why personal styling still matters in the age of remote working. So another interesting topic. We have on the 27th of May, coaching skills for managers, and then another webinars at the end of June, the 4 windows of gratitude. What is still missing here in this presentation is the next second Thursday. We are still finalizing this event, and we will be communicating as soon as we have finalized all the details to you. But stay tuned, because the second Thursday is always on the second Thursday of each month. The new board, as Serene was saying, we are very new. We are less than in the past, only 8 people. You can see Shital on the video as well. Shital is the new programs director, so she will be in charge of this event together with many other events as of next month. And then we have 2 other people that are quite familiar because they have been with us already for a couple of months, marketing, Soumya and Sandra for membership. Leadership opportunity to close before handing over to Ruchi. As you know, at Primetime, we offer several development opportunities for your leadership, and we do believe that people can make a difference. And we offer those opportunities to people who also believe that they can make that difference. The new board has just been elected, but we still are looking for new volunteers. Especially, we are still looking for the second Thursday key leadership role, but we are also looking for deputies and for volunteers if you are interested in dedicating some time to Primetime, or even if you have some great ideas of topics that you would like to propose to Primetime. As said before, we are more than happy to listen to your ideas and to make those ideas a reality for Primetime. So if you have any interest in contributing back to Primetime in any form, please reach out to us and contact our membership director, Sandra. That's all from my side for the time being, and I'm handing over back to Serene first for the most interesting part of this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Katia. Thank you. And
I'm stopping.
No problem. Let me just
Done.
So today we are very honored to have Ruchi to be coming here to speak to us. She is an executive coach. She's a lawyer by training, and she's a well-being facilitator. She helps people to be able to accept change and to be able to have the courage and the confidence to be who they are. And I think right now, given what is happening around the world, that's probably one of the most important things that we can have. So if you could just join me to welcome Ruchi to the stage, please, Ruchi. Come, hold on, just give me a moment, Ruchi. I'll just pin your video. Just give me one moment. I'll just pin your video and you'll be able to speak. Okay, go ahead, Ruchi.
Thank you so much, Serene, and thank you, Katia, for sharing all about Primetime. I think it's really beneficial for everyone to know and learn more about this amazing association. I joined Primetime last year, so it's been lovely. All the few events that I could attend in person, they were great, and looking forward to more such webinars till we can meet in person again. So thank you for having me. Should I start with sharing my screen so I can start with my presentation? Just a second. Okay, is this okay?
Yes, we can see you clearly. Go ahead.
I'm just going to open my chat box too. Why is that? I can't see it. How do I open my chat box, Serene? It's not showing right now. Should I? It's a Q&A box. Should I click on that?
No, I've just typed hello into the chat box. It should pop up. Everyone should be able to see it. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so for those of you who are attending, please feel free to put your questions into this chat box at any time.
Yes. So before I start, I want to let everyone know, I want to try and make this as interactive as technology can allow us. So if you have any question, feel free to pop it in the chat box. Also, if it's, Serene, is it possible for them to unmute while I'm talking?
Yes, they can unmute if you're talking. But what happens is that because I've muted them all, so perhaps you can just raise your hands if you want to talk. So just raise your hands and I'll give you the mic.
Lovely. So please do that while I'm talking. If you feel you want to stop me, if you feel you want to ask me something while I'm going, please put in the chat box and we will unmute you so you can talk to me right at that moment and not wait only to the end where the Q&A will also happen. So let me begin. Hello and welcome. And to the webinar titled Work-Life Harmony, Managing Crossroads Better. Well, I love this topic, and it's a very, work-life harmony is something that's a topic that's very close to my heart because I'm trying to change that long drawn association with balance, with the word of work-life balance, especially for women who are managing and running so many roles in our lives. So let me start with sharing a bit more about me. Serene said some stuff. I'll share a little more. I'm an executive and a life coach. I'm certified by ICF. I'm an ACC. I'm also a Belbin certified facilitator. I'm also a trained lawyer. I worked in Hong Kong and India before I became a coach. My coaching style is result oriented. I focus on making my clients feel empowered and accomplished while achieving their goals. And I am a journaling junkie. You will learn more about me being a journaling junkie because I'm going to make you guys journal even while my presentation is on. So don't worry if you don't have a pen and paper. We all have our phones which are glued to our hips, so worry not. Okay, moving on about the focus for today. So today we're going to be talking about these things: understanding crossroads, examples of crossroads, how to deal with crossroads, work-life balance versus work-life harmony, 8 steps to achieving work-life harmony, practical strategies to try out immediately. Let's begin first with understanding crossroads. Now, this is your first question, guys. What do you mean? What do you understand by the word crossroads? Please put it in the chat box what your understanding of the word crossroads is. It doesn't matter whether it could, yes, Serene, could be an issue with this. Oh, sorry. Anybody, make sure your chat box is to all panelists and attendees. Anyone wanting to share anything on, yes, Claire, thank you. Big decision to take. Leona saying, crossroads to me is a point where you need to make a choice, go left or right. Dilemma. Annie's saying it's a dilemma. Absolutely. All of you are right. An intersection. Yes, that's the literal meaning of crossroads, an intersection. Caroline saying it's facing a decision where you need to choose. Absolutely. So true. Anyone else? Okay, moving on. Crossroads are everything what you guys have said, and they mean basically to be at a stage in your life when you have to make a very important decision. With regard to business crossroads, it could imply a point of decision at a critical juncture. And I also want to break this myth. It also implies that there aren't just 4 routes on a crossroad. Because a crossroads means an intersection of 4 ways, doesn't mean that you only can choose 4 ways. There could be potentially dozens of different paths you and your company can take. Or in personal, like any journey, you will need a map and probably a guide. You will definitely need to take the initial steps to prepare you and your business to be it professional or entrepreneurial, for your eventual choice of path forward. I hope that clarifies what crossroads is. Let's move on to some examples. I want to share with you some examples of what business crossroads means, or you can even take them as personal crossroads, but let me read them out to you. Due to a proposed merger, the company is standing at the crossroads. We are at a crossroads. We cannot answer if this is going to spread further or not because additional cases have occurred, although we thought at last weekend it had leveled off. Angie was at an interesting crossroads. She was the majority shareholder in the company, and the company was growing well, very profitable. She could easily have sold and retired, or she could invest 100% of her net worth. Markets in the last 2 days have been caught in the crossroads of Greece, the uncertain implications of its debt problems on the future of the Eurozone and the employment figures. Bigger than ever, the business is at a crossroads, teetering between reverence for its healing past and a fear of a pain-filled future. For months, I have struggled with the decision, and after being rejected as a finalist from a fellowship, I found myself at a crossroads. It's in the prime location, and it's a shame to let the business of your home go to rack and ruin, but we are at a crossroads, and it is a question of which way we go. Our business is at the crossroads. If this deal succeeds, our future is assured. If not, we shall be bankrupt. She's at a crossroads in her career. Either she stays in her current job and waits for the promotion or accepts this new post in Paris. I want to ask you, do any of these resonate with you? Any of these examples of being at a crossroads? Have you experienced being at a crossroads? If you'd like to share, I'm really happy to hear what your example or any of these resonating with you of being at a crossroads in your life. It could be personal or professional. If anyone would like to speak and not type, that's also fine. Anyone? No problem. We'll move on. Let me now share with you ways of dealing with crossroads. When I say dealing with crossroads, it means you are at a juncture or a stage in life where you need to make a decision. You need to choose. Sorry, no problem, Caroline. Thank you for sharing. Caroline is speaking about job option. Yes, very often we are at a crossroads choosing between jobs. And yes, I'm going to be sharing at the end of, towards the end of the presentation on what to do when you're at these crossroads. I'm going to be sharing practical strategies with you. So please keep watching ahead. Would you like to speak, Caroline, or just the typing is okay? Okay, I think I'll move on with dealing with crossroads. Okay. Caroline, sorry, okay. So we have Karen sharing, taking a job just to take it rather than waiting for a better offer, which includes the visa process and everything. Absolutely. This is, yes, this can be a tough decision to make and how to take the right decision. I will get to you towards the end when I'm talking about practical strategies and how to do it. Dealing with crossroads. Being at a crossroads can feel very overwhelming. You might hesitate because of the gravity of the decision before you, not knowing which way to go. You plant your feet in indecision and hesitation. Perhaps you stop yourself because you know what you should do despite not wanting to do. This is similar to what Karen just said, taking a job just to take it rather than waiting for a better offer. In any of these cases, the weight of a decision and processing how to move forward can be daunting. As a result, you may feel a substantial sense of loss and are no closer to creating a solution. You may not know what to do next because you're feeling the burden of choosing one over the other. And this stems from a very long-held belief of balancing out everything in life. And this is the reason why I chose the topic of work-life harmony instead of work-life balance. The word work-life balance, which implies that in order to achieve success, one must balance out your work and life equally. The key word is equally. However, you need to prep for the crossroads long before you find yourself at them. And that's where it comes. To be able to take the right decision, there is a lot of back-end work that needs to be done so that when you are at that critical juncture, you know which way to go. You can trust yourself. You know moving forward in that particular direction will give you success. So let's get to my favorite part of this presentation, understanding work-life balance versus work-life harmony. So to tell you the truth, I don't think there is any such thing as work-life balance because there is no separation between work and life. They're basically intertwined. The term work-life balance implies that our life is a neatly divisible pie that can be split equally in whichever way we want for the various roles we play. But life simply is not like that. It's not even a question of balance. I think it's more a question of control. And balance is not static. It's not fixed. It's always in a state of constant flux. So instead of separating it out, why not we work towards work-life harmony and understand that work and life are like layers on top of each other with varying levels of importance. We must learn to celebrate this overlap instead of forcing them apart. Sometimes, or actually most of the time, especially women, we're always trying to be super efficient, organized, so that everything is properly planned in a very critical, taking minute things into account. But we cannot take into account the interferences and disturbances in life. Because that's what life is. It throws curveballs at you. And when one such curveball comes, that balance gets thrown off. And there goes all your work-life balancing of splitting every role that you're playing. And sometimes this happens on a daily basis. That's why when we're constantly trying to achieve a balance, we feel miserable. We feel let down by ourselves. We feel lesser of people because we're not able to reach that bar we're setting for ourselves, because that bar keeps moving every time. Honestly, we don't need to choose one over the other. Instead, we need to work for a harmony between the roles we're playing, the harmony between work and life, knowing that the importance will change often, sometimes on a daily basis. The right balance for you will be different today. It will be different tomorrow. It can be different when you are an employee. It can be different when you are a C-suite executive. It will be different when you are single. It will be very different when you're married and have children. So let's, instead of striving for achieving a work-life balance, strive for achieving work-life harmony. And you will love to see how your life is blossoming, how you feel a lot more fulfilled. You feel in control of your life. You don't feel like everything's just falling apart despite you doing everything possible. Let me now share with you 8 simple steps on how to achieve this work-life harmony. Let's start with stop aiming for perfection. Life is forever static. It's constantly changing and evolving. We need to not aim for perfection or be perfectionists. It's rather helpful if you try to be a little more realistic. And the hardest thing you can do to yourself, or the meanest thing you can do to yourself, is compare your life with the version of perfection outside of it, with what the world is showing you or what society is showing you. Instead, focus and aim for your definition of perfection. Enjoy the imperfect perfection. Step number 2, focus on your strengths. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. You cannot possibly be good at everything. So let go of the things. Learn to let go of the things that are not your strengths. Delegate. Take and use help if you can afford it. In every aspect, whether it's your home, whether it's your work, personally, focus on your strengths and build on them. Let everybody else do whatever you're not good at. Focus on your health. We always take our health for granted, not realizing that by giving excuses like I have meetings, I have clients, work's very busy, you are not giving importance and priority to your health. Hence, when your health suffers, when you fall sick, you won't be able to attend to those clients or those meetings. Make exercise a ritual. It's a healthy body will have a healthy mind, which will make you more efficient and maybe get your work done quicker. So you can spend more time doing things that you love, leisure time. Prioritize your time. If you're like me, who loves to make to-do lists, well, I love to make them. It's time to prioritize even those to-do lists now. Just focus on the important aspects of those to-do lists. Only once you're done with that, and even then, only if you have a little bit of extra time, then do the rest. Otherwise, be very mindful of prioritizing your time. It's your time. Only you should have control over it. Ensure me time. This involves self-care. It's the taking care of yourself is always last on people's lists, especially for women. We have work to do, we have kids to take care of, we have a house to run. We have a list of things that go way above us, and our turn never comes. What we don't realize, and I'm going to use the cliche, is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You need to take care and ensure self-care, me time on a daily basis, not alternate days. Because when you do that, it can be something as simple as taking a nap. Even if it's 30 minutes, I'm sure you can remove 30 minutes in a day to take a nap. Watch a bit of TV, happy hour with your partner or spouse, play with your kids. The act of doing that ensures that you're recharged and refreshed for the next day. If you don't do it often, on a regular daily basis, you are depleting your energy, and that's depleting your productivity, your efficiency. So you need to ensure me time. Learning to say no. This is my favorite. No in itself is a sentence. And it's okay to say no. When you start saying no, when you start setting boundaries, is when you realize how how much time you free up for yourself, how much more efficient you become. It's not easy. Yes, I know it's not easy, but it is possible. Start small. Start with saying no to somebody you're comfortable with, somebody you believe will not judge you, will yet love you if you say no to them. Start soon, start now, because learning to say no is a very big key in harmonizing your life. Or you're always pulled and stretched in all directions when you cannot say no. Unplugging. Well, every piece of technology comes with an off button, but we believe that we have to go on 24/7. It's okay to unplug, especially from technology. We live even more so now with the pandemic. Everything is connected with technology because we're so deprived of human connection. We are turning to technology for basics, for our basic needs. But there is time when you need to unplug. Start small. No technology, no gadgets on the dining table. No technology when you're going to bed. You want to watch your phone, some messages or whatever before sleeping, but put it aside before you sleep. Start with baby steps. It will make a world of a difference. Taking regular breaks. And when I say taking regular breaks, I don't mean taking holidays, because as of now, that's not even possible now. But when I say taking regular breaks, and science backs this by saying that taking regular breaks actually increases your productivity and your focus. One research says that after every 60 minutes of mindful, focused working, you can take a 10-minute breather or a break and get back to another 60 minutes. You will be working efficiently and a lot better. There's also the Pomodoro technique, which says having the buzzer and buzzing it after every 25 minutes. Do whatever works for you. There are various ways and ideas all over the internet to help you, but take regular breaks. It's contrary to popular belief that you will lose time. No, you will work even more efficiently and be even more productive. I hope these steps were easy for you to understand and easy for you to imbibe and start working on, so you can achieve that work-life harmony to live a very fulfilled and happy life. I'm going to move. Any questions before I move on? Anyone? Okay, I will move on. As I said, I'm a journaling junkie. Please take a snapshot of this screen. If you were at a crossroad, a business crossroad, how would you deal with it? I shared with you what crossroads meant, dealing with it. I spoke to you about work-life harmony. Take a snapshot now, and maybe you can journal it afterwards when we're done with the whole presentation, and you get an even better idea of what business crossroads or what crossroads are and dealing with them. Thank you, Claire. Claire says she loves these steps. Unplugging is so important. Yes, unplugging, we forget. I know I forget very often. And I try very hard. I haven't succeeded, but yes, I try very hard to keep pockets in the day without any phone. That's very hard for me, but I'm trying. My baby steps have begun, and I'm sure we'll all be able to do it soon. So now I'm going to start with strategies, learning strategies. This is the fun part now. Learning how to achieve work-life harmony and how to deal with or face when you are at a critical juncture, when you are facing a crossroads. Okay. Now I'm going to have a two-pronged approach. First is mindset work and then taking action. Why mindset work first? Well, because learning anything new or different in your life or any change always begins with first convincing your brain that it's okay to make that change. And the change is not wrong. You cannot one day get up and say, today I will stop doing something, or today I will not use my phone. I'm using the phone example because I just spoke about it. You will not be able to do it because your brain will keep telling you or questioning you that why suddenly are you not picking up your phone? Why are you not looking at it? It may feel different at first, but eventually it will become a part of you. having a growth mindset can really help you in all aspects of your life. Let me elaborate a bit more about growth mindset and explain to you the difference between growth mindset and fixed mindset. So growth mindset is a belief that intelligence, skill, and talents are malleable and they can change, they can grow with effort, perseverance, and practice. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, which basically in layman's terms says we can all become smarter. Our brains are like muscles. The more you use them, the better they get. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, has the belief that your intelligence, skill, and talents are fixed. You're either good at something or bad. You cannot change. In order to bring about any change in your life, you need to have a growth mindset, the belief that you are getting better, you can change, you can grow. I want to share with you some examples of growth mindsets versus fixed mindsets. Please, you can take a snapshot of this so it helps you understand when you are doing it, practicing and trying to imbibe the change. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, a person with a growth mindset will say, I'm awesome at this. What am I missing? I'm on the right track. I give up. I'll try something different. This is too hard. Don't we very often feel that this is too hard, I can't do this? However, if you think that you can, this may take more time and effort, you can yet do it. I can't make this any better. I can improve, I'll keep trying. I just can't do it. I'm going to train my brain. Sorry for the typo there. I made a mistake. Mistakes help me learn better. It's good enough. Is this my best work? Plan A didn't work. I love this one. Thank goodness there are more alphabets. So do you get the gist of growth mindset versus fixed mindset? And in order to make any change in your life, remember, always work on your mindset first. Strive for a growth mindset, which is a belief that you are and can get smarter. Now let's get to the action part. So you've convinced your brain that this is the right thing to do. It's not only about the balance, it's about the harmony. When you are stuck at a juncture, when it is that crucial time. Sorry, Caroline shared something. Let me read it out. I agree. I think I need to be far stricter with myself on taking breaks. During this time, I found managing workload plus homeschooling demands have taken up so much time, but I think this is more to do with just trying to make things perfect rather than good enough. Yes, Caroline, we all, I'm sure everyone here agrees, we all want to be perfect. What we try to do is give 100% to everything. What we don't realize is to have it all, to be it all, we don't need to give 100% to every role we play. You don't need to give 100% to working, 100% to homeschooling, 100% to running your house. If you do that, you will burn out. You need to find your magic number that's good enough. It could be 80% to every role you play. It could be 70% to every role you play. You know your number best. Trying to be, you're one human being running so many roles. Giving 100% to every role is physically and emotionally not possible. So, as I said earlier, find your definition of perfect. Find your definition of enough. Because if you try to match somebody else's, you're always going to feel disheartened and feel like you're not good enough. Let's move on to taking action. I think we're running out of time also. Okay, I'll quickly get through the best part. And I think it was Caroline and Claire and someone else who spoke, Karen who spoke about taking a job just to take it rather than waiting for a better offer. Let me answer these now. When you're at a critical juncture or at a crossroads, how do you tackle it? Firstly, you have done the back-end prep work of making sure you are harmonizing your life. You are not trying to separate and force apart everything that's driving you crazy. You are at a better place in your mindset. And then you do these steps. You first determine the end result you want. It's the end game. That's the first step in deciding how to move forward. Because when there is no clear direction with regard to the end, it's because you've not thought about it, you've not determined it in the beginning. And I'll give you some examples with what I mean. If you're saving money for a trip, you need to first understand what trip are you looking at? What is the holiday? Is it going to be a luxury? What is the city? What is the country? Is it going to be backpacking? You cannot just say, I'm saving for a trip. What is the amount you need to save? If you think you want to work towards building financial independence, you need to first understand, what does independence and freedom mean to you? What is that you're looking to achieve by trying to become financially independent? If you want to work towards building a business, what kind of business do you want? What is that end result you want? You need to determine that first. Once you have that end result and end goal, you need to examine it. It is so important to deep dive and examine that goal, that end result. Because if you don't do it, there could be a chance that you've done something, run for years with that aspect, and you realize that it's something that you actually don't want. Because of sunk cost bias, because you have invested so much time, money, energy, you will then even may have to forego a very good opportunity that comes your way. Because you feel you've already invested so much time in a particular journey that you wanted to go, which doesn't seem good enough or something you want right now. So it's so important to examine those goals, and sometimes you may have to refocus and sacrifice the time spent or invested in that journey, so that you can work towards something that matches with and aligns with what your vision in life is. It is especially important to examine and deep dive into your goal, what your end result is, especially when you get faced with a situation where you've been given an opportunity, but you have your dream goal. When you have deep dived and examined that goal, will you be able to make the right choice in moving forward towards one of the two options? I hope that answers your question, Karen. Write down all the possible negative consequences. Again, coming back to journaling. Sometimes the chaos in our head, the confusion in our head of, if I do this, this will go wrong. If I do that, that will go wrong. The negative consequences stops us from moving forward in a particular decision, moving forward in a particular way when we are at crossroads. Journaling about it will actually help you start clearing out those blocks and negative consequences. It may have seemed so big in your head, but when you journal about it, it may actually not be such a big problem, or it could be some negative consequence that can be dealt with. Tip number 4 is prioritizing your tasks. As I spoke earlier, prioritize the tasks, the objectives, the goals, and determine what is important for you. What value do they hold for you in your life? What is their place in your life? It will help you move forward in that direction. What aligns with you, with your vision of your life? And finally, a plan. It's very strange, but very often people mistakenly first create a plan. Isn't that the first thing someone says, oh, I'm starting a new business? Make a business plan. However, the plan, making and designing a plan is the last step of this process. Only once you have determined the result, examined your goals, understood them, made sure they align with your vision, does the time come to plan the way forward. And if you first make a plan, then you have the chance of going in that direction, moving forward and realizing it doesn't match with what you really finally want. So these are my tips, my action steps to help you not only harmonize your life, but also deal with your situation when you feel stuck at a crossroads. Let's now together try and visualize. If you try to together visualize you facing a crossroads and dealing with it brilliantly. Imagine yourself doing it with your vision, aligning it with what you're looking for in your life, and coming out of it a success. Being at a crossroads may seem extremely hard in the beginning, but when tackled with the right mindset and action steps, you will always move in the direction best suited for you. And the best part is that you learn some amazing lessons on the way that will help you grow and shine personally as well as professionally. Have faith and confidence in yourself. You will always win. If you'd like to connect with me, I'm there on all social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I'd love to chat with you further. Thank you so much for being such an amazing and interactive and sharing audience. I'm very grateful to be a part here to be able to share with you about this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ruchi. So do any of you have questions for her? Any questions? Just raise your hands. I can give you the voice to speak. Okay, so Leona wants to know if you can share a little bit more about journaling and specifically how you would do this on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Journaling basically is very important because there are certain things in your life that you cannot share with anybody. Not with your spouse, not with your best friend, not with your mother, not with your sister. What happens to that stuff? It stays stuck inside for years, till it's like a dormant volcano waiting to erupt. You need an outlet. Journaling is that outlet. If you want to journal on a daily basis, the first step that I would suggest or recommend that I do to most of my clients is start again with baby steps. Maybe start with a gratitude journal. Journal 3 things every day that you're grateful for. Another simple way of starting journaling on a daily basis, just write a daily record of your day. This you do if you do it in the last thing in the day. If at night before going to bed you want to journal, just write about how your day went, what you did, whom you met, how you felt. It's basic, simple. It may feel strange at first, but everything happens with consistency and practice. Do it every day. It'll come like second nature. Growing up, I used to write a diary. I used to write Dear Diary. Maybe you can write Dear Diary. Maybe you can write Dear Universe, Dear God. Whoever you feel is listening to you. It could be yourself. Write to yourself. If you're writing first thing in the morning, set the tone for your day. Write about how you expect your day to go. Is it going to be amazing? Are you going to rock it? Are you going to be managing many things? Write about it. It'll help you get onto the path of journaling every day. I hope that answered your question, Leona.
Any other questions? I think Jennifer did raise a question about recording. The record of this video is on the Facebook page of Primetime, and it's there on Facebook Live, so you will always be there as permanent record. Other questions? Do you guys have any other questions? Okay, so if not, could you join me in thanking Ruchi for her wonderful advice as well as for all that you shared?
Sorry,
Yes.
I think Katya has a question.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay, Katya, you are not muted, so.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you can, yes.
Okay. I was thinking that there's a concept of work-life balance, and it's true that it's a trap mostly for women, much more for women than for men. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
You want me to elaborate more on the concept of work-life balance for women?
Why is so much for women versus men? Men, at the end of the day, they find their balance, while the request of being perfect 100% on each segment of our life is more for women.
I think because as women, we play a lot more roles. As women, we are more, and there are exceptions to this rule, but as women, we are a lot higher on our EQ. We very often think with our emotional being rather than our practical being, which men and the male species is. It's very easy for them to block off home when they are on a work trip, work call. Even in the pandemic, I see my husband working. If he is on a work call, everything, there could be a storm outside, he won't leave the call. But if I'm on a call and my kids are having a meltdown, they will come to me. They will expect me to go. Then I'm okay to tell my client that, sorry, my child's having a tantrum. We are used to, from time immemorial, seeing our mothers, our grandmothers. It has continued. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. What sometimes we make a mistake is when we try to be 100% perfect in every role, every aspect. That's when resentment builds. That's when you feel burnt out. That's when you question your man that, why can't you help out? Why am I the one doing all of it? But if you remind yourself that you're human, you cannot, one human, give 100% to every role you play. It's okay if you give a 30% to something on a particular day and a 70%. If you have a big important meeting, a project deadline, your children can take a back seat on that day. But if your child is sick, your work can take a back seat on that day. It finally, that right balance, that harmony, whatever you may call it, it depends on every individual. It's how you believe to take it. And most importantly, without guilt. Guilt kills us women. The mother's guilt, the woman's guilt, every form of guilt is sitting in our systems. Get rid of that guilt because you are doing the best you can. You are being the best version of yourself in every role you play. Accept it. Go with that flow. Stop questioning yourself all the time. I hope that answered it.
Yeah, Ruchi, would you recommend a mindset shift in women, really? Because now that we are juggling so many roles at the same time.
I think, as I just said, get guilt out of the way. You know, like today, for example, this evening time is my kids' dinner time and bedtime. And a few days ago, when I realized that 7 to 8 was when the webinar is going to be, I was like, I won't be around for dinner. I won't be around for bed. It's one day. They can manage. They will be fine. We are blessed. We have helpers. We are blessed. Our husbands are in the house because they can't go anywhere. It's okay. But despite working on my mindset for so many years, I yet felt that guilt for 5 minutes. And then I had to remind myself, no, it's okay. They'll be fine. They can watch half an hour more of TV today. It won't kill them. So stop feeling guilty. Throw that word guilt out of your dictionary. It serves you no good.
Monica has a question. She says, how do we ensure consistency and that it doesn't meet the same fate as New Year resolutions that we set?
So for consistency, you have to, again, first understand and remind yourself, tell your mindset or tell your mind that this is good for you, this is important for you. Only when you force yourself to do it consistently can you make any change. It's not the same as a New Year resolution because a New Year resolution happens once a year in that buzz of excitement when the world and its neighbors trying to make a change. This is a change that's going to change your life, that's going to make it better. So commit to it. Remind yourself of the benefit you're going to get when you commit yourself to it. And as they say, I think the old research said 21 days builds a habit, 90 days builds a lifestyle. New research says it takes 66 days of consistently doing something to make it a part of your life. So 66 days, that's all it takes. Do it for 66 days, it will be a part of you.
So do we have any other questions from any other attendees or even a panelist? Caroline says, yes, next week she's going to do things differently.
Caroline, from today, not next week.
I was going to say that too. Not today. Okay. So any other questions that we have? Okay, if not, can you join me in thanking Ruchi for her time and all the wisdom that she shared with us tonight? Thank you very much, Ruchi. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I would also like to invite back Kathia. to say a few words in closing for this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Serena. And I wanted to thank you both, you again, Serena, for hosting us, and thank you, Ruchi, for sharing some of good strategies, for sharing your 8 steps. I would invite all of you to pick up the 1 or 2 that resonate the most with you and start practice 1 of them, 2 of them, 1 step at a time. As Ruchi was saying, baby step will build that new habit. So for me, the main takeaway of today's session is priority, and allow myself to be a priority, even when it seems that it looks like that everything depends on me and on myself. So priority is the word for me of tonight. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. As I was saying last time during the AGM, our aim is to find a way to make these sessions much more interactive. We are still on the learning curve. We will find a way. And for the time being, thank you again. I hope to see you soon at one of our next events, and especially stay tuned for next second Thursday on June the 11th. We will communicate very soon, topic and speaker. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you very much, Katia. Thank you. And thank you to all of you for spending your dinner hour and your kids' dinner hour with us. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you next month at the next second Thursday, which will be on the 11th of June. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.